Well, I'm joined here on a beautiful day on the promenade by Osborne, who's over here to do quite a talk about in the business field about good governance. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. And there's never been more of a catchphrase and that sort of thing going around in the last few years. What do you bring here? I mean, what knowledge do you have to impart to people about good governance?
Well, I certainly don't presume to have all the knowledge. What I do believe in passionately, as does ICSA, is that unless you have good governance, you don't have well-run businesses. If you don't have well-run businesses, you are not on the way to restoring trust in business. And some of the bad behaviour that has been seen in all types of business, not just financial services, principally there, but also in other businesses. You'd expect me to mention Volkswagen in this discussion.
Well, that's,
you know, if you don't have good governance, we're not going to restore public trust and confidence in business. It takes years to build up trust. You can lose it in a second, and I think it's going to take the best part of a generation to rebuild it.
And the offshores have had their own issues with good governance, haven't they? With the people who use it in a right to the sail close to the wind, shall we put it?
Well, so it has been suggested. I think I'm not sure the UK government has played entirely fair with the position of the Crown dependencies, and I think all three Crown dependencies, the Isle of Man, but also Jersey, Guernsey, I think they have gone the extra mile to make sure that their governance of financial services institutions operating out of their jurisdictions is to the highest possible standard. And we're delighted at ICSA to have our members here. We've got a thriving branch. Our objective is to support that goal of the Manx government to have a well-run financial services industry here operating off this island.
It's interesting to say that, because obviously the offshores have been under pressure.
Yeah.
You still see a good future for us and Jersey, Guernsey?
Yes, I do. And I think the contribution that the three Crown dependencies make to the UK economy is too easily forgotten. I think these are important places in which to do business. Yes, they're favourable business places, but I don't think they should be pilloried for that. I think you know, you've got to take as you find, and I think when you look, you see that the standards of governance here are good. You have good regulators. They work in concert with our own regulator in the UK, the Financial Conduct Authority, and we're delighted to collaborate with your regulator, making sure the qualification we're offering is what is needed for this jurisdiction.
Okay, so you're here to do a pep talk, are you, and to rally the troops?
Oh yes, there's an element of that, yes. But we're doing our first ever event here on the island with the local branch of the IOD, and we're really up for collaborating with other bodies. So I'm going to be talking to the IOD and ICSA members tonight about the role of the Company Secretary and how the Company Secretary is actually the non-executive director's friend. Right. It's not always appreciated.
I was going to say that a lot of companies wouldn't use those terms, I would have thought. They could be the ones that hold things up. They're the ones that want to cross the T's, dot the I's, yes?
Well, they can be accused of that. I think a pragmatic and judicious approach to the role of the Company Secretary is important. I was Company Secretary for 10 years. You have to become a wise friend. And that's absolutely key. But I think non-executive directors need to appreciate more about the role and the calibre of the sorts of individual who choose to do this role. They're not prima donnas. If you're a good company secretary, you don't seek the limelight, but you're there quietly, coaxing, encouraging, exhorting, facilitating. It's an absolutely key role, and I suppose what can make it a negative, in some ways it's a grudge purchase. You know, the law says, the law doesn't say you have to have a chairman, the law doesn't say you need a CEO, a finance director or a chief operating officer, but it does say you need a company secretary. And maybe that doesn't always help, but the law is the law, and I think if you've got to comply with it by having a company secretary, make sure you get a good one and use that person, man or woman, to the best possible advantage.